Alright, this is our notes again on three-dimensional volumes. We're interested on three-dimensional figures. We're interested in modeling and finding surface area of three-dimensional figures. First off, just in general, the surface area is the sum of the areas of all the faces and side surfaces. From your reference sheet, the formula for the prisms and cylinders is the same. The surface area is equal to twice the area of the base plus the perimeter of that base times the height. For pyramids here, our surface area is the base area, the area of the base, plus 1/2 of the perimeter times, I've got HS here, which is the slant height, the diagonal height of a shape. Or for a cone, surface area equals the area of the base plus pi times r times the slant height. For a sphere, its surface area is 4 times pi times r squared. Now, going from here, we want to find the surface area of this cone. Well, let's see. The surface area depends on the area of the base. The base is this circular shape, the circle. So we need to replace this b with the equation for the area of a circle. Pi r squared is going to replace b because the area of a circle is pi r squared plus pi times r times hs. Now, going across the shape, this would be our diameter. The radius is going to be half of it. The radius is 5. Let's make the comment that r is 5. 13 is our diagonal length here. It's our slant height. HS will be 13. We just need to plug numbers in. We'll have pi times 5 squared plus pi times 5 times 13. If you work that out, you'll get 25 pi plus 65 pi. You'll get 90 pi as an exact answer. Or you'll get about 282.7 when rounded. And we're talking about area, so we're talking about yards squared. For a sphere, you've got 4 times pi times r squared. And we know what the radius is. The radius is 1.8 centimeters. We'll just plug in what we know. 4 times pi times 1.8 squared. We'll get 12.96 pi 12.96 pi centimeters squared as an exact answer. If you're asked for an exact answer, you're going to leave your answer in terms of pi. Or you just multiply this fully in your calculator. 12.96 times pi is rounded 40.7 centimeters squared when rounded. My favorite problem from the previous day, talking about our Tiankeng. A Tiankeng is a sinkhole with nearly vertical walls. The Tiankeng is approximately cylindrical with a diameter of 180 meters and a depth of 420 meters. Draw a small picture just to go with it again. This is possibly the most important problem on this page here. If the top of the Tiankeng is open because it's a sinkhole and plants can grow on the bottom and sides, what is the surface area available for those plants? We're going to round our answer to the nearest square meter. Now think about where the plants are growing. We've already got the formula for the surface area of a cylinder here, but where are the plants growing? Well, they're growing on the bottom of the cylinder, and they're growing on the sides of the cylinder, but they're not growing on the top. So we get to change this formula a little bit. We get to get rid of that 2 in our problem. Now, again, from yesterday, we already know the diameter is 180, so the radius is 90, and we know the height is 420. So we get to just plug those numbers in. We need to replace our base area with pi r squared, so we'll have pi r squared. We need the perimeter of the base. The perimeter of the base is the circumference of the circle. The circumference is 2 pi r times the height. Then we just have to plug the numbers that we have in. Pi times 90 squared plus 2 pi times 90 times 420. And I left you guys to do the rest of that calculation yourselves, because we wanted to make sure we got through everything in class, and I'm leaving it to you again here. Over here on our surface area question, we're told about the model of a roof of a house is in the shape of a square pyramid. If the surface area of the model is 64 centimeters squared, what is the slant height? Well, I know I'm talking about a pyramid, so I'm going to pull up the formula for the surface area of a pyramid. Surface area is the base area plus 1/2 of the perimeter times the slant height. Now, think about this square pyramid here. It has a base that is the inside, and it has the perimeter of that base, which is the edge of the square. Since it's square, all sides are the same length. We got 5 centimeters there, 5 centimeters here, 5 centimeters here, and so on. So its perimeter is easy enough. We can say it's 20 centimeters. The area in orange there would be 5 times 5. It'd be 25. And the entire surface area we were told was 64. From there, we just had to evaluate, we had to solve. We subtracted 25 from both sides. We got 39 equals half of 20. Half of 20 is 10 times the slant height, which just meant our slant height was 3.9 centimeters, because everything over here was measured in centimeters. Last problem here was our gardening problem. The plans for constructing a raised vegetable garden uses metal in a wooden frame. This finished vegetable garden is 4 feet long, 30 inches wide, and 32 inches tall. The metal is going to be used on all the faces of this garden except for the bases. So how many square feet of metal should be purchased? We're going to make sure to round to the nearest square foot. First off, let's start with the fact that we're dealing with footage, or feet. Notice we've got 4 feet here, but over here we've got 32 inches and 30 inches. We need to turn those into feet first. Turn your 30 inches into feet, you find it's 2.5 feet. Turn your 32 inches into feet, you find you get like 2.6 repeating. You could do 2.6, you could do 2.67. I would recommend going with 2.67 if you're not going to do a fraction. Now, we want to be talking about surface area. We got our formula for the rectangular prism here. But do we need all of it? Well, let's see. We're going to use metal on all the faces except those bases. Except the bases. Meaning, I don't need this here. I can get rid of the area of the top of the shape and the area of the bottom of the shape. No one's going to place metal on top of the garden because then you can't reach in the dirt and deal with your plants. No one's going to place metal on the bottom because then the vegetable garden can't drain into the ground. We just need the four sides then. Our surface area in this case is looking like just the perimeter of the base times the height of the shape. It's looking like our perimeter is this shape, this rectangle here, which has a side length of 4, another side length of 4, and then 2.5 and 2.5. Adding up those four sides, we get a perimeter of 13. The height, we're going to use 2.67. We multiply 13 by 2.67. We get 34.71. 34.71 square feet. But we want to round to the nearest square foot, so we would say it's 35 square feet. Whenever you're finding a problem, whenever you're solving one of these problems, make sure that you're using the same units and everything. If you want your answer in feet, make sure you convert everything into feet instead of inches.